Hey guys, Silver. I'm going to show off something cool called a decision dialog node. What that is compared to a normal dialog node, which would pop up in combat, you just have the OK button and it would go away. This one will pop up and it will have a number of responses you can select from, and when you select those responses, something can happen. So for those responses to show up as well, you're able to put some conditions on them, and they're the same conditions you can use in the designer triggers. For when you click the responses, you're able to run results, and those are also the same results that you can use in triggers. So let me just show you this. So this is one of my test areas. I've just got a play allowance spawn and a zone down here. So what I'll do is I'll just clear this and make a new one. So what we're going to do is when the game starts, we're going to want to maybe just wait one round and then trigger this decision dialog. So what we'll do is on triggers, we'll say, let's say, trigger start. Doesn't really matter what you call it, and we can say trigger on encounter. On encounter intro complete. So that's when the for instance the dropship comes and drops you off. Once that's happened and you've spawned, that will trigger, and we'll just say always true because we want that to always trigger when that happens. We'll right click this and create a new result, and we're going to say timing, and it'll be a delay, and we'll say we want to delay by 1 round. And we'll say when that happens, we're going to want to trigger, we're going to activate a chunk. So I'm going to say state set status. So chunks are just collections of logic. So we have a decision, we'll get rid of this. So we have a decision dialog chunk. That's just like, think of like a folder, a container. Starting, it'll be inactive to begin with. When it activates, we'll do something. I'll show that in a second. Okay, so we'll set status and we say decision dialog. We want that to be active. So what will happen is the game will start. It will wait 1 round. When that's passed, it will activate this decision dialog chunk. So that's got the region in it that we started with. Now, if I right-click this, new node, this is all the logic bits. We can do dialog, and now we actually have decision dialog. We select that, it will give us an initial response, but we're going to want to have 2 there, so we right-click and create 2 responses. We can name these things anything you want, say decision artillery, because we're going to have a choice between 2 different types of artillery. We're going to say we're going to want single shot, and we're going to want to have orbital PVC. So what we're going to say here is say fire the artillery. I'm going to say fire the PVC. So at the moment the dialog is going to be kind of hard coded into the contract type. The reason for this at the moment is because the actions, so the results that you tie to these buttons will always be the same based off the contract type. So the dialog is kind of hard linked to it. Also at the moment with contract overrides, that's the contract JSON, there's no real easy way currently to try to provide dialog for this since it's fully custom. So maybe in a version 2 I'll think of a way to extend the contract JSON and be able to provide an override for the button text. So so what we're going to do is single shot. You can have conditions on there to determine whether to show it or not. So what we'll just do to show that off, we'll create another one here and we'll just say won't show. I won't do any apostrophes on there. And what we'll do to show that off, we'll just say you will not see me. And what we're going to do just to prove that, we'll put a tonnage check on here, player tonnage, and we'll say if the player tonnage is less than or equal to 1 ton, which is impossible really to have, don't show the response. So this one we won't see. For the orbital PPC, we won't have any conditions on these ones at all, but we will right click and we'll add a result, and we'll say artillery, and this one will do, just say 10 damage. It will fire on that attack region, and we'll say orbital PPC. So we'll just save this, and then we're going to do the same thing on the other one, artillery, and we're going to say single shell, same thing, or attack that region. Yeah, why not 10 damage? Okay, so I've got a lot of the basic stuff in there. We don't really have any objectives other than the main contract objective, but we don't have anything tied to that. So when the game starts, we'll delay by 1 round. It will set the status of this chunk active. Now what we need to do is we want to trigger that dialog. So there's 2 ways to do that. You can either have a result, we're going to have a dialog result here, to like set status and set dialog, or when a chunk activates, you can say, hey, let's run one of these 2 things. You can actually change another chunk state at random, or you can activate a dialog. So we'll activate the artillery. Should we call it? We'll call it artillery decision. So if you let that artillery decision there, so that will trigger. And then when that triggers, it will give you the 3 options, but one of them won't appear because the condition fails. And then we have those 2 options, which will fire a choice of artillery. So let's save that. Let's export that contract type, and let's give this a try. Okay, so here we are, booting into the test export we've made, and let's give it a go. So we'll come in to that location, the mechs will spawn. So now we have, we're going to make that 1 round skip, so we'll do done. So now, as you can see, we have our multi-choice dialog. We don't see the 3rd option because we failed the condition check. We are fielding a lance that's more than 1 ton. And we say fire artillery, fire PPC. So it's fire PPC, and it will attack that region. Anything in that region would get damaged, basically. Okay, and let me just restart this mission, and we'll show the other response. Okay, let's go in. Same thing again. Go there. We're going to skip that round, then we get the dialogue, and it's fire artillery, so we have a choice. There we go. So, I mean, you can tie any of the results you want to it, and however many results you want to that. So, for instance, you could use a decision to get a dropship to come down, to spawn allies at a certain location, to fire artillery, like we just did, to yeah, I mean, anything, any results that I make for the designer, then you can run, basically. So I hope you found that interesting. Thanks a lot, guys.